And therefore, yes, Senator Fernandi, what is your issue?
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope the PSC Commissioner, Senator Kinyua, is noticing also we need welfare like police. Mr. Speaker, yesterday we wanted to seek further clarification from the Council of the County Assembly. I remember the first witness was being stood down, and some of us wanted to seek further clarification. Would it be in order to proceed?
We will proceed to seek clarification from the Council of the County Assembly.
Okay, thank you.
For half an hour. So at exactly 11:34, we should embark on the case of the county governor.
Mr. Speaker, through you, yesterday I wanted to know from the pleadings that the County Assembly, through their council, read by Mr. NDEGWA, which of course, one of the issues I wanted to know in the pleadings, it was never indicated whether an invitation to the governor of MERU was sent out during the impeachment proceedings at the County Assembly of MERU. So I would want to know whether there is a proof to that effect, because I've seen the pleadings and submissions that have been made. If Mr. NDEGWA and the team, the youthful councils, could provide. Mr. Speaker, the second point is whether the councils, in case the governor was invited to appear before the County Assembly, whether there were any communication to that effect, where she got the receipt of that appearance, and whether it was confirmed. So, Speaker, finally, to the councils of the County Assembly, through you, whether there is any evidence that was tabled before the MERU County Assembly to challenge the motion of impeachment, because that is where the charges are aired, and Senate is either to appel or not the charges that have been done at the County Assembly, whether there is any evidence to challenge, whether there was an evidence to challenge the motion of impeachment against MERU governor at the County Assembly. So, Speaker, and finally, there was an argument over the Office of the Auditor General report, where the reading of the Constitution and the feeling of some of members, Mr. Speaker, through you, felt that the fact that the OAG has generated a report, the Office of the Auditor General, can it be quoted as a legal document, or can it be used persuasive in any of the pleadings or any case that is before the House? So I would want to know the opinion of Mr. NDEGWA and the County Assembly and the Youthful Council, whether that one can be taken into consideration. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
The appearance is as before for the County Assembly. We are greatly humbled for granting us a further opportunity to urge our case as before you. We do not take it for granted that the Senate creates time for that particular engagement. We are greatly humbled. In response to the inquiry by my learned friend, Mr. Chergei, the Senator, I refer you to Volume 4 of the County Assembly documents, where we have the index and description of the document that we have filed. At page 55, if Honorable Senators, you are with me, at page 55 of volume 4 of the bundles by the County Assembly, you find a notification of the impeachment motion dated 31st July. This notification was issued by Honorable Zipporah Kenya, MCA, and the Deputy Majority Leader. It was addressed to Her Excellency the Governor, Honorable Kawira. It was notifying her of the pending proceedings before the County Assembly. Of course, Honorable Senators, permit me to indicate to you that this was pursuant to Honorable Lady Justice Cherere findings in MERU's High Court in the first impeachment, that the mover ought to notify personally to the intended respondent, who is the governor. Equally well, at page 56 of the same document, volume 4, Honorable Senator, my learned friend Mr. Charugei, page 4, volume 4, page 55, which you've just dealt with. We are now turning to page 56, where you find a letter from the County Assembly of Meru, the Office of the Speaker. The letter is dated 31st of July. The same is addressed to Her Excellency the Governor, Honorable Kawira. It's an invitation to respond and appear before the County Assembly for the removal from office of the Governor of Meru County pursuant to the motion. The same was prepared by the county, by Ayub Bundi, who is the Speaker, and it was duly served upon the Governor, where she acknowledged receipt by stamping on the said document on the same date, 31st July, at 4:16 p.m. The same was supported by an affidavit of service. The first one is dated the 31st of July. Honorable Senators, you find that at page 59 of the same bundle. It is deponed by one Benson Kenywa Ngure, who is a duly licensed process server and equally an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. At paragraph 2, 3, 4, and 5, he deposes how he effected service at the office of the governor. Of most interest is paragraph 2, where he says that on the 31st July, I was instructed to serve Her Excellency the Governor of Meru County, Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, with an invitation to respond and appear before the County Assembly via a letter dated 31st July 2024, reference as MCA/GC/1 volume 1/24, together with the hard copies of the late notice of motion by Honorable Zipporah Kenya, seeking the removal from the office of the Governor of Meru County by way of impeachment. That letter, Honorable Senators, referred thereto or therein is the letter that you find at page 56 of the said document. That is what Mr. Benson is deposing to have served. Equally well, Honorable Senators, at page 64 of the said document, you find another affidavit of service deponed by Joel Maitehia Mturukonga. He deposes at paragraph 2 that on 31st July, I received a copy of the notice of motion for the removal from office of the Governor of Meru County by impeachment from Zipporah Kenya, and and the deputy leader of the majority party, County Assembly of Meru, with instructions to effect service upon Her Excellency, the Governor of Meru County, Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, and the Speaker of the Speaker of the County Assembly. He says that he proceeded on the same day at around 4:17 p.m. at the office of the Governor. I served the aforementioned document to Frida, the Secretary to the Governor, Meru County, by attending the copy there to her and recording her signature at my principal copy. This is clear evidence that there was effective service. The question is whether there was response and whether there was attendance from the Governor. She will be telling us in our cross-examination whether she did attend. And that answers the first and the second issue, whether there was communication, whether there was evidence that there was tabled to challenge the notice. There was no correspondence and all pleadings that was filed before our clients challenging or responding to the invitation and challenging the notice of impeachment. We are not aware of one. The impeachment motion at the County Assembly went uncontroverted and unchallenged. As to the question of the Auditor General's report and whether it can form the basis of this impeachment, permit me to draw your attention to Article 10 of the Constitution, because that is a legal question. It lays down the national values and the principles of governance, which Article 10 provides that it binds all state organs, state officers, public officers, and all persons whenever any of them applies or interprets the Constitution. And in this case, we are applying the Constitution and then the written law. One of the principles is the principle of accountability and the principle of transparency, the principle of the rule of law, the principle of good governance. When you go to the article establishing the office of the Auditor General, the Auditor General comes in to scrutinize and to lay effect to the implementation of Article 10. Whether there was accountability, whether there was transparency, whether the rule of law was followed in public expenditure. Again, that must be read together with Article 201 of the Constitution that provides and lays down the principles on how public resources must be expended. One of the overriding principles is that there must be prudent utilization of the resources. And number two, Honorable Senators, is that when reading the Constitution, we must read it as a whole. Any article breathing life to the subsequent one. That is to mean, Honorable Senators, that if an office has been established by the Constitution, an office such as that of the Auditor General, it must be seen as a complementing office that is complementing the principles laid down under Article 10, pursuing the doctrine of transparency, the doctrine of accountability, the doctrine of the observation of the rule of law, the doctrine of good governance. That is to mean, Honorable Senators, when an issue has been raised in the...
Senator Christo, allow the council to conclude, then you can make your intervention. Yes, what is your issue, Senator Christo?
Thank you very much, Speaker, for allowing me to just make this quick comment. Speaker, you have given direction that we only have 30 minutes for this clarification session, and I believe that we are moving into an area where the council is being allowed to re-prosecute his case by giving quite lengthy responses, and the rest of us have other clarifications we'd like to make. If it pleases the House, Speaker, and yourself, could the council be guided to just make his responses brief so that we can get through more clarifications and not to re-prosecute his case? I thank you.
Council for the County Assembly.
Yes.
If I was wondering what kind of question you're responding to, because the question by the Senator for Nandi has no relationship with the lengthy statement you're giving. Be precise, just go straight to what you've been asked to clarify. And I'm giving you 2 minutes to conclude that.
I'm well guided, Mr. Speaker, sir. Yes, the answer is yes. The Auditor General reports can form the basis of impeachment because as under the time of the generation of that particular report, Article 229 requires the County Assembly to debate. After debating, that does not mean that it disposes of or waives the County Assembly's responsibility of oversight. It can form the basis of impeachment because an action must ensue and all follow from the findings of the county of the reports. It's not just a report that has to be done and be placed somewhere and gathers dust.
Senate
Most
Majority
humbled.
Leader.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Approve. Mr. Speaker, and you know, just as a point, we have to move away from this Stone Age practice. I hope in the next impeachment process, we will go digital. This is unfair to the climate. Look at this, every senator with. Anyway, just a simple clarification, Mr. Speaker. Part of the documents I've spent a lot of time reading are documents from the public participation, because I wanted to hear what the people of Meru are saying, because this is about the people of Meru, Mr. Speaker. And I'd refer the Council for the Assembly to their document, Volume 5, this very huge, voluminous document before us. Mr. Speaker, the reason I did this is I just wanted to understand, and I'll be satisfied if the Council can even just point me to any of the documents they have presented, because it will help me to form a correct opinion. Because listening to the Council yesterday in his opening remarks, he alluded to, and this has been captured as part of the documents they presented on page 11, 1334, on views of members of the public supporting notice of proposed motion to impeach Governor of the County Government of Meru, the Honorable Kawera Mwangaza. And one of the main issues that keeps coming up, I had the Council speak about it. I had the Honorable Member, I think Zipporah, the one who moved the impeachment motion, refer to it also yesterday, that the Governor is allegedly behind disunity problem, especially amongst the leaders of Meru, and the efforts, especially by Meru professionals during Cheke Council of Elders, and the clergy seem not to bear any fruits. That doesn't concern me much, because, you know, at leaders level, Mr. Speaker, there are many reasons why we disagree. But as an exit to this problem, last time we made our conversation, we had requested, just the last point, Mr.
Majority
Speaker.
Leader, you have not more than 2 minutes to seek the clarification.
The 12th paragraph of that process is that the Governor is alleged, paragraph 11, the Governor is alleged to frustrate the process of reconciliation between her, the Deputy Governor, and the MCAs. This featured prominently in their case and submissions. Is there any document that they can point out to us, Mr. Speaker, to confirm that indeed there have been efforts to do this, but the Governor specifically frustrated them? I'd be satisfied even if just told, go to this document and see this. Thank you.
County Assembly, 1 minute.
Thank you very kindly, the Majority Leader. The voluminous document that you see contains the report and the analysis that came or accrued from the processes of the public participation.